Motor Week 90, television's automotive magazine, with your host, John Davis.
Well, hello and welcome again to Motor Week 90. We're glad to have you with us. A few weeks back, we showed you the Ford Explorer, Ford's answer to Jeep's Cherokee and the onslaught of four-door sport utility vehicles from Japan. Now it's Chevrolet's turn to show off their competitor in this highly contested market segment. It's a four-door version of the familiar S10 Blazer. But as with Ford's Explorer, there was more to the transformation than just lengthening the wheelbase and adding 2 extra doors. The four-door Blazer comes to us as a 91 model, which means there are lots of detail changes. The first thing you'll notice is a new grille. Wheels, wheel trim, and body identification are also revised. Ditto the nearly identical GMC S15 Jimmy. As for substance, four-wheel anti-lock brakes are standard equipment now, which brings a new element of safety to this model. Those changes go for all S10 Blazers, but it's the four-door we want to know better. It gets a 107-inch wheelbase, 6.5 inches longer than that of the two-door. That helps to provide a lot more cargo space than in the two-door. Volume is up by 25%. Outside, the Blazer's extra doors are nicely integrated into the body, but styling looks very angular when compared to that of Toyota's 4Runner or Ford's Explorer. Inside, things look about as they always have in S10 Blazers. The dash features a large driver's pod with most switches only a few inches from the steering wheel. But inside that pod is something we've not seen in a Blazer before, an electronic gauge package. Like most of its type, we found it more difficult to read than the standard analog package. The cloth-covered seats have good lower back support, but seem a bit flat. Bolstering should be more aggressive, especially considering the vehicle's off-road capability. Seat belts are manual and comfortable. Since sport utility wagons are classified as trucks, they don't have to be equipped with passive restraints. But the S10 sports plenty of car-like equipment. Cruise control is stock-mounted in the time-honored GM fashion. Heat and ventilation controls are up front and simple to operate. The radio is easy to use too, but requires a long reach for drivers with shorter arms. All four-wheel drive S10 Blazers have a shift-on-the-fly system called InstaTrack, which engages silently by this short shifter. The system worked as advertised, and of course you don't have to stop the vehicle and get muddy thanks to auto-locking hubs. If you really don't care about any of this, the four-door Blazer can be had with two-wheel drive only. All buyers will care most about the extra room and convenience of having four doors. We have no complaints about room back here, but the folding rear seat does not split as in some competing vehicles. But folding it down does leave you with 74 cubic feet of room. Getting to it is not so easy with this optional spare tire carrier, and it rattled a lot too. The tailgate hangs down in the traditional wagon manner, but the glass opens up independently and allows small items to be loaded simply. And this engine is pretty simple. Chevrolet's 4.3-liter V6, making 160 horsepower and a hefty 230 pound-feet of torque. It sports throttle body fuel injection. The only change for 91 is the addition of a quieter starter motor, but we wish for a quieter engine. Compared to the 6-cylinder engines in most other sport utility vehicles, this one is kind of boomy. But we can't complain about acceleration. The V6 pushes the S10 Blazer to 60 miles per hour in a fine time, 11.5 seconds for our vehicle. The quarter mile took 18.4 seconds and ended at 74 miles per hour. But the engine's generous torque is best suited to pulling hills or loads. Towing capacity is rated at a big 5,500 pounds for the four-wheel drive version. And considering the engine's size, fuel economy isn't too bad either. With EPA ratings of 16 city, 20 highway, we managed 20 in typical driving. So despite its noisy nature and lack of sophistication, this engine has plenty of good points. But there is some sophisticated hardware under the Blazer's hood. This is the heart of the anti-lock brake system. With it, our test vehicle needed only 133 feet on average to stop from 60 miles per hour. Pulsation through the brake pedal was very noticeable in this system, but we can't say we like the mushy-feeling pedal. Stops, however, were straight and very controlled. As for handling, the S10 Blazer seems to have a firmer suspension than some of the vehicles in its class, which encourages brisk maneuvering. The vehicle responds with strong plow at the front tires, but only moderate roll. The back end will slide around if the throttle is lifted. But you must remember, this is a sport utility vehicle, a truck, and you can't drive it as you would a car. A high center of gravity means rollovers can occur if you push the vehicle too hard. That firm suspension also gives a surety to off-road behavior. But on the road, the S10 may prove too firm for buyers whose main purpose is hauling kids and groceries. The 91 S10 Blazer 4-door will cost you $16,905 to start. Our loaded Tahoe grade vehicle came to $22,451. That's reasonable for its class. Hits for the S10 Blazer start with its interior room. We also like its generous pulling power and its anti-lock braking system. As for misses, the Blazer styling is showing its age, and we wish it had a quieter, smoother engine. For comparison, Ford's Explorer offers a more modern overall design, which means a split folding rear seat and more interior room. But the Explorer is only rated for towing 3,500 pounds and offers anti-lock brakes only on the rear wheels. The Jeep Cherokee, the vehicle that started it all, has less interior room. It too has a rather angular look, but it offers better acceleration with its smoother inline 6-cylinder engine. The S10 Blazer 4-door does not have so many advantages that we'd call it the sport utility to beat, but it is a good, solid, go-anywhere wagon with lots of power and versatility at a very competitive price. Chevrolet loyalists will love it, and that's what Chevy is counting on.